Hello everybody, good morning. My name's Dave Hazelhurst and welcome to this hangout about optimizing your website. I am a director of search for a digital agency based in Liverpool called PH Creative, and we work with lots of different businesses across multiple sectors, from SMEs through to brands that you would recognize. And today we're going to be talking about elements and components that you really need to be thinking about that's going to help you make your website work harder for you. And this is really important because now we all in our businesses do lots of marketing activity, whether it be online or offline, and most roads lead to people visiting your website. So just doesn't it make sense that we work hard at improving them? In the real world, big retailers, businesses, shops, they work hard on their offline business. They work hard on the experience the customer has. Surely we should be doing the same with our digital presence. And it's not just about appearing high up in Google. For too long, people have thought about, what do I do to get my website high in Google? Actually, no, that's not right. What we should be doing is thinking about, how do we make the experience better for our customers, and the rest will come. So improving conversion and making our websites work harder for us. What do we want our websites to do? Well, typically we want to generate sales. But it's not just first time sales, it's second sales, and the third time, and building loyalty and lifetime value in our users and our customers. If you're business to business, it could be generating inquiries for your business. It could be making the phone ring. And if you've got live chat, it could be making someone start to use that live chat. It's also about brand perception. Perception's reality online. Ask yourself, does your website match your business offline? Be brutal with that question, because I can tell you we see lots of people have a website and the perception by looking at the website online just does not represent who that brand is. And also really, what we want to do is give a great experience. We want to give a world-class digital experience online. It's your shop online, it's your business premises, work at it. We want to understand our users. This is important because this is how we hone and improve our presence online. So why are they visiting a website? Are they in research mode, or are they further down the buying cycle and they want to buy something? But you've got to make sure that you've got great information and content that helps people move down that buying cycle. Where have they come from? If you go into Google Analytics, you can segment your traffic very, very simply. You can see if they've come from social, they've come from organic, they've come from search advertising, and you can also see what words they're typing in. And then you can see how they behave when they land into your site. So if you look at your bounce rates, if you've got keywords or segments of traffic that have got high bounce rates, let's pick out 60%, then that means that 100 people are walking in and 60% are leaving very quickly. Now, if that happened in your shop, you'd probably lock the doors and go, hold on a second, you've got to stay in. So that's really important. Look at your bounce rates and you'll improve your conversion rates. Think about how your visitors see your site. Don't look at it through your eyes, and that's quite a hard thing to do. Think about how your customers see the site. So how do they scan the page? People visit, and within seconds, they're deciding whether to stick around or not. Think about, there's a thing called the F factor, not the X factor, the F factor. Think about how they scan that page and where the components are on the page, where your headlines and subheadings and your benefits are. Think about how that's laid out. And then we have this thing called the fold. Now, our designers will argue with me all day about the fold. And it's quite an interesting one, but ultimately, if you're sat at a website, looking at a website for your desktop, think about, can they see the most important information? But you also need to think about mobile devices. That's really important. I've got a mobile device in my hand. I don't know about you, but I'm constantly looking at my phone. I drive the wife mad. And if the experience is bad, I'm going to go elsewhere. So how it renders and what it looks like on a mobile device is really important. Got a really cool video here. It's not very long, it's a short video. It's a video Google did, and it's about what a checkout experience feels like, but actually in real life.
Hey, just that, thanks.
You sure?
Yeah.
Username?
Oh, Nick M.
No.
NM 1983.
No.
Zandy Pops.
Sorry.
Zandy Pops.
No, okay. Don't worry, I'll help. What's your postcode?
Oh, it's GU749ZT.
Welcome back, Nick Forever.
Oh,
Please listen carefully to this bread license agreement before continuing with your purchase of a loaf of bread. If you do not, blah, blah, blah. You also agree not to use any bread-based products for any purposes prohibited by United Kingdom law, including without limitation the design, development, manufacture of missiles, chemical, nuclear or biological weapons.
Tick.
I'm afraid you've timed out.
What? Sorry. Hello? Excuse me. Oh, yeah, hey.
Just one loaf, sir.
Yeah, we just...
What's your username?
It's Nick Forever, but number 4, not the...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
OK, I'm just going to check that you're a real person. Could you say that for me?
That's not even a word.
OK, how about this one?
You know what, forget it.
Or this one?
Potter nice.
You're in.
Great, I'm in.
£8.85.
It's supposed to be 98 pence.
Plus express delivery.
What's that?
Oh, well, it's express delivery. It's fast. So there's, standard.
Standard.
Standard delivery. That's £4.99.
Why?
Bread insurance. You didn't untick the don't decline bread insurance option.
You know what, I think I'll risk it.
It is quite close to the sell-by date.
Don't care.
98 pence it is. If you want to pop back in 5 business days, it'll be ready for your collection.
Well, I need it now, obviously.
Oh, OK. You want the take-home today price? Well, that's £3.27.
You know what, I'm going to go.
Come back soon.
I won't.
Dear customers, this call will be closing in 10 minutes. Please proceed to the checkout. Please proceed to the checkout. Thank you.
Great little video that, and really does make me chuckle every time that I see it, but it does sort of paint that picture of what it would feel like. I mean, imagine if that was in Tesco's and you just couldn't get through the till. They'd go bonkers. So, you know, that sort of makes you think about it in a different way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to run through a quite straightforward checklist with some hints and tips about things that are important to your website. Now, as I go through this, I'd really like you to ask me questions. So check out the form, ask questions through the form, or jump onto the hashtag. But it's really important that we get some interactivity going, and you know, there could be, you never know, there could be a question here that could actually increase your sales if my answer, God forbid, helps you increase your sales tomorrow. So let's get some interaction going. Okay, first one, straightforward, main headers on the site. Keep them familiar. Sometimes people try to be too clever with these, but trust me, users like a bit of familiarity. That's hard to say when you're from Liverpool. Have the logo on the top right-hand side, and the checkout and the phone number is often on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side as you look at the screen. Sorry, that's familiar to users. Don't change it. Often you get your login details there or the blog, but don't make them think too hard. Navigation. I'm a geek about my navigation. Keep it simple. If I walk into John Lewis's, I stand at the escalator and I can see where every department is. Very simple. Don't talk technical jargon. Signpost clearly in your navigation what different services you've got, what different departments you've got, so categories and products. Keep it simple. And a good example we had with a client was a lot of people were coming into a site, they were selling printers, and a lot of people we discovered were looking for A3 printers, which they sold, but guess what? They didn't have it on their navigation, their main navigation. So guess what we did? We said, tell you what, let's put A3 printers on your main navigation, and lo and behold, they sold more A3 printers. So just keep it simple and make it obvious, and don't use technical jargon on your navigation. Headlines. User lands into a page, they need to see a headline that clearly lets them know they've arrived for what they were looking for in the first place. So based on whatever keywords they've typed in, for example, so let's say, I don't know, a used BMW, they want to land into a page where there's a headline that says used BMWs, or at least has those words in, not used Ford Focus or Mini, used BMWs. So it's basically the run seal approach. Make it obvious and say what it is. Make them really relevant to the page. And a little tip here also is think about what might work well in the offline or marketing in the past that you've seen, and that could inform how you're going to shape that headline. The hero image. Okay, this is an interesting one, the hero image. So the main banner, the main mass banner, what are you going to do with that? Don't make it about the company. The customer is looking to buy a product, or they're looking to buy a service. You want to be putting in the hero shot products or something in relation to the service, or a person or a customer saying how great you are. And a great little tip here is on the hero image, have them looking or have something pointing to what you want the user to achieve. So if I walked outside of Google Towers now and looked up, people would start looking up. And if I went, don't jump, everyone would start looking up. So think about the hero image and how you can get that effect. And by pointing them to the action button, which we'll be talking about in a short while. But that is a really good little tip. And the other one is, don't use stock images. You know, this is our digital presence here. This is our real life business digitally. Let's give it the care and attention. There's a woman with the best smile in the world and a headset. She works for over 1 million different companies around the world. Let's use our own people, our customers. Let's work harder. Let's push stock imagery out of the way. Video. Video's rich media. People like to watch video. We've just seen that checkout video there. It's a bit humorous, but it gets the message across, and it's quite short, and it's powerful. But don't make the video about the company. Make it about the customer. So it's not me, me, me. It's about the customer. It's about them, you, and them. Don't make it too long. A good little tip is on the video, rather than just have an icon with a play triangle icon, have a little descriptor about what's going to happen next and what they're going to find out and how long it is. So it might be, in the next 60 seconds, you'll find out how X, Y, and Z, this will do it for you. So it's just a little descriptor, but they know what's coming. They're not uncertain how long the video is going to be. That's a great little tip. We've done that ourselves in the agency, and we found that it's really worked well. And also, if you're using rich media, get it in your YouTube channel. And if you haven't got a YouTube channel, get yourself a YouTube channel and put your rich media and your great content through Google Plus as well. And if you haven't got a Google Plus account, you need to go and open one, and you will benefit in a number of different ways. Data capture forms. This is like your salesperson. This is like we're getting to the close of the deal. It's really important. It's a natural place for it to be on the left-hand side. On e-commerce, we see the value of the product, we see reviews, we see the buy now button. In B2B sites, submit an inquiry form. Think about the design, think about the contrast that you're going to create. Think about the call to action. Think about how you're encouraging people to fill that form in. Test the messaging, and think about how many fields you've got. The more fields, the longer it is. It's like running the 110-meter hurdles. Now, if you're like me, you won't get very far on 110-meter hurdles, so let's strip those hurdles away. Less is more. The button. The button is like, do you want this? Do you want to buy this? It's really important that your action buttons, the conversion elements of the site, the buttons have a unique colour, their own contrasting colour that goes throughout your site, so the user gets familiar with where to go when they want to inquire or buy the product. Don't be afraid of making buttons bigger. We've doubled the size of buttons and increased conversion rates by 37%. Don't put submit. I hate the word submit. Think about buy now or download now. but don't use submit, and test them. Try different things. Another little tip is live chat. Live chat can be really powerful. Give you an example. We've got a client who had a 29-minute conversation via live chat that ended up in a sale. 29 minutes. I very rarely speak to the wife for 29 minutes non-stop. 29 minutes, and they learned loads of information by what that customer was asking. We've also got car dealerships that use live chat so people don't feel as intimidated, so they don't feel like they have to phone up this salesperson. They now take deposits online and deliver cars from Liverpool to London. And live chat is a key component in that. So definitely check out live chat, give that a go. Trust indicators. In the real world, recommendations and trust help us buy things. You often ask your friends. So social proof, reviews, ratings, customer testimonials, guarantees make users feel safe. They make them think, right, yeah, I can do that with this company because all these people tell me so. And place it, as we can see there, we've got the trust indicators just below the action button. Also, you could try videos there, video testimonials to reinforce what we want the user to do. Content. Okay, guess what? This is what they read. And I bet you don't work anywhere near as hard as you could on your content. Often, if you build a website, content is the last thing that gets done, and there's a panic. Oh no, we need this content. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. In the real world, you train your salespeople how to sell. You get them to ask questions and engage with people, and they learn what to say. They learn how to overcome objections, and objections are really buying signals. Are you getting those messages across in a friendly way and an engaging way through the content that you're writing? Have you really done that? Are you bringing freshness to your site? Do you update it? Think about how it can be read. The BBC almost invented the one-sentence paragraph. Really simple to scan, lots of white space. And another tip is, often black writing on a white background is far easier to read than white writing on a black background. The benefits. Focus the benefits on the user. It's pretty obvious that. But often you see the benefits and people just talk about features. So if I'm buying glasses, I'm not buying glasses, I'm buying sight. It means I can read the newspaper. So think about the benefits. And if you start with the word are, make sure the word you is in the sentence. So our glasses will help you see, for example. So talk to your users. We talked about the fold before. And this is something we've done with many clients in our agency. As people scroll down the page, often the buy button and the submit the form button will disappear up the page. Perish the thought. We're losing the salesperson. But actually, as we scroll down, let's not be afraid to repeat that call to action. Let's not be afraid to put that form in there and try it, because we're not making the user work as hard. We're making it easy for them to go through the till. Or maybe there needs to be a little icon that they can press that automatically scrolls them back up to the top. But maybe they're not ready to submit the form yet, and maybe there's a secondary close, maybe there's a soft close. Maybe we could put our social media channels and get them to engage in them and actually share the page. Romancing the share is going to really help you share your content into their communities. A couple of more tips. Don't cause friction. Keep it simple. Allow your website to breathe. Imagine if you walked into Tesco's and you couldn't get through for clutter. What would you do? You'd walk out. If there's white space or a space on your page that hasn't got anything, don't feel like you have to put something there. Keep the user focused on your key messages and your content and what you want them to do. Always be testing. So think ABT, ABT, always be testing. In the real world, businesses and retailers will test different planograms and layouts and promotions and marketing messages. They'll change the tills. Are you testing your pages? Analytics, Google Analytics, we can do this through content experiments really easily. And that's how we're working, improving and getting more conversions. And there's another thing here we touched on before. How does your site look on one of these devices? How does it look like on a phone? How does it render? Google have got a great website, howtogomo.com. Put your URL in there. It's a brilliant tool. We use it in our agency and it shows you how your site will render. And then another tip is actually when someone's just bought from you, they hit a thank you page. Now, if I buy a car and I start driving it, I'm going to start telling everyone, I've got a new car, look at my new car. I'm really excited about what I've just done. The thank you page is your opportunity when you've got an excited customer to encourage them to do more. Can we upsell them a product? Can we get them to share what they've just done into their social channels, extending your reach? So think about your thank you pages. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to look at a few real-life examples and pick out a few viewers' websites and have a look at them. Let's see what we get. Okay, so I've mentioned John Lewis's already today, and they invest a lot of money in refining their digital presence. And it's an e-commerce site. Straight away, we can see a really nice sized search bar there. Now, it's really important on an e-commerce site that the search bar is quite prominent, and I'll tell you why. We had a client that 6% of traffic clicked into their search bar, but it delivered 36% of revenue. 36% of revenue, but the search bar was very small and over to the right. So guess what we told them to do? We said, let's make the search bar bigger and more, you'll generate more revenue. It's very natural on the John Lewis's site here. We've got the checkout, you've got this mega nav, clear signposting of different departments, not cluttered, simple language. If we scroll down slightly here, we've got the main mast or the hero banner. And what they've got here is these little arrow cues that pop up, if we can see them. Now, the BBC do this better. The BBC, when you roll over your mouse, it actually highlights and then words come up that tells you what section, if you click the arrow, you'll move into. So that's a good little pointer. And then as we scroll down, what they also do really well, which I think sometimes e-commerce sites forget, is here, they're telling us why we should shop with John Lewis's in the first place. So yes, we're looking for a product, but actually why are we buying it from John Lewis's? Why are they the e-tailer of choice in this instance? So we're never knowingly undersold. We've got free delivery. We can do click and collect. We can do international delivery. So they're reinforcing why we should shop with them. If we look at a product page, they do this brilliantly. So if my wife lets me, I want a new plasma TV so I can watch Liverpool. And what we can see here is straight away, we've got the TV that it is, and we've also got brand association with the logo, clear images and several images. If we go across to the right, we've got a very natural position here for where this information is. It's got the pricing, it's got, look at that red tone there with the special offer. So, you know, they've introduced a colour for special offers, and look at the reviews. That's reinforcing why I should buy this TV. If I scroll down, we've got video here. Now I can tell you that does a run through of the product. And this is what I think they do brilliant. They're thinking about upsells in a very clever way. If they're delivering a TV, they're upselling the fact for £9, they'll take your old TV away. Now, I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that. So they're listening and thinking about the services to the customer that add value and actually help them gain more income, sell more, gain more revenue. You can see here the add to basket button is a very contrasting colour. It's not seen anywhere else. It's only that colour green for the action button. We've got share icons, and again, they're reinforcing the UK delivery. And then over here, we've got the different pieces of information that the user needs to go ahead and make the buying decision. And actually, this page scrolls quite far down. they're not afraid of scrolling down because actually they're answering users' questions. So that's a really important thing. So they do a really good job. It's worth having a look around their site. So, okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to look at some of the sites that the viewers have sent in. So, if we have a look here, Laura Flanagan, I should be saying, come on down. Here's your website, Alison at Home. Good job. It's got some really nice touches in here. I like the feel of it. I think you've done good job here if you've got your search box front and central. I like the way you've got the word search for products and inspiration. So you're actually telling the user what to do with it. Over here, you've got your shopping bag, which is a nice common place for it to be. Possibly you could include a phone number there, so it's always on your header. I know you do phone support and phone orders, so maybe that's a thought that you could put in there. That might help users pick up the phone and maybe generate some more sales. You've got a mega nav there, so well done. Possibly you could maybe think about introducing some of these items here into the main nav and test how that works. I love the fact you're using Pinterest, and I know that you promote that well. Maybe a blog, because you're selling lifestyle products here. There's a real opportunity for great engagement through world-class content, basically. And I think you should have Google Plus in there for a number of reasons. Your main mass banner, I think, is strong. I do wonder whether the blue tone is a little bit lost and your Shop Now button could be a bit stronger. And maybe you should take the cue from John Lewis's or more the BBC website and add in the arrows with the words that tell you what department next. But then if I scroll down, you've got good placement, the site breathes well. I think as I move my mouse over these tiles, it'd be nice if you had a slight rollover effect, so it just highlighted them. And then this is interesting, sign up to date. I like this, you're trying to data collect, but I just wonder whether we can see this strongly enough. But I think, a good job there, doing a good job. And then if we move on to your product page, like this, nice, big, strong image, and you're showing it in situ, so you're showing it in the living room. I know when you click this, it gets bigger, so we get better detail, nice, sharp images. I've seen that. But actually, what I'd like to see is a few more images just of the product and maybe real close-ups of the grain. I think that could help, and maybe a video. And there's, we've got lots of space here. This in stock is great, giving the user what's happening with availability. But actually, this estimated delivery charge, now I'm not sure about that, because that places another question, is how do I estimate delivery charge? Now, I know you do talk about that in the site, but I've got to scroll down to see that. So maybe you could do a bit more with that. I love the social share icons there. And then the product information here, and this content here, it's a little bit difficult to read. And have you got all the information the user needs to make the purchasing decision? Like the sizes are buried in the content. Maybe you should have some tabs like the John Lewis site, and don't be afraid of that content scrolling down. I like the way you've got the upsells across the bottom here. But actually, let's make them buy this product first, which means let's work hard, a bit harder with the content. But by and large, I think you're doing a good job there, Laura. And you never know, when I need a table next, I'll come to you. And then Nirav Patel. Hello there, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sending your site in. I've actually worked in this space, so I know it's really competitive and it takes some effort. And I think you're doing a good job. Again, big phone number there, like that. Call us free. Maybe that could say, call us free to claim today. So maybe we could be a bit strong with a call to action. I like your hero shots. It feels really human. It's got personality to it, but they're not clickable. So, could I click them and tell the story a bit more and improve the social proof? And could the people be clicking to a call to action to submit a form? You've got your form here, but this is more about a calculation. Find out in 30 seconds. I like that. I just think that maybe the design could be a little bit sharper. in helping the user know that they're going to get, find out how much they could claim in 30 seconds. Love your button. Well done with the button. Nice big green button. Find out now you've put the arrow in there. Maybe that should have a rollover. So as I move my cursor, it rolls over. And then if I scroll down slightly, now look, what's happened? We're losing the buttons and we've got white space here. So maybe we will try repeating the call to action here with a nice sharp banner. And then finally, this is a page, I'm assuming this is a landing page for you, and I bet you're bringing traffic in for people looking to make claims for a car crash, and we've got good old Esther Ranson here. Now this is an interesting one, this, because the car crash claim text, I don't think is in a natural position. I would switch that around. I would bring car crash claim over here and have the person here. And actually, I would actually bring in those people shots again. I think that's more important about how much those people, how much you've won for those people who've made the claim. But then as we scroll down, you've got this device here, which I think just needs a little bit more breathing space. And actually, we want them to claim. That's what you want them to do. And I think the yellow is actually the weakest colour on there. And if you look over here, you're using green. So I think you just need to think about your colouring on your buttons and the prominence of this section here. But I think you're doing a good job, and believe me, I know how competitive that space can be. Questions. So hopefully, if you've been listening, we've got some questions. So let me just fire up this. Let me have a look at what we've got. Okay. Okay, what makes size have good? Right. Okay, go. Loads of questions, really good to see. Okay, Sandy's asked me, do you need to consider popular search terms on your navigation? What I would do there is, I'd look at your Google Analytics, and I would be thinking about the keywords that come into your site and use the Google keyword tool and look at what keywords your users use to find the products or services you sell. And I'd throw that back to you. Do you think that how people search and the phrases they use to come to your site should be in the navigation? Well, in the printers, people were coming for A3 printers and it wasn't in the main navigation. So yes, I think it's important, first of all, for your users to find what they're looking for, so get it in your navigation. And actually, I think then you'll benefit from a SEO point of view. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, someone's asking me about content experiments. Okay, which is a really good question because I've talked about testing. In analytics, there's a free tool where you can submit a URL, which is a variation of a page in your site, and basically it will split test them. And it's very, very clever, as everything is with Google. And it will actually tell you which page converts best. And guess what you do? You keep that one, and you come up with a new experiment and try and beat it. Okay? That's a really good question there. Thanks for that, Kat. And, okay, Mark Russell, great question. With the increase of sales on tablets and mobile devices, how important is responsive design? And do you think people are acting on it? They're not acting on it fast enough. I do believe I heard a stat that over 90% of the FTSE 100 don't have mobile-ready websites. 90%? That's unbelievable. Tesco's do big box superstores, and they now own the convenience market with Tesco's Express. They changed the shop for the convenience. I'm looking at a website on here, on my phone, possibly for convenience, and I want to do something fast. So if you're making me move around and pinch and pull and prod about, is that a good experience for your customers? No. So I definitely think responsive design is really important for mobile devices. And if you're not thinking about it, you've got to be thinking about that. Okay, I think that will do for questions for now. But if you look at the form and you want any more advice on this, if you look at the top right-hand side, you can see a blue button, which is basically speak to an expert. So click that button and you know, the next step could be you could be generating more sales or more business. And I've really enjoyed this session. It's something that's quite passionate and close to my heart, the whole making websites work better and taking it into the real world. So thanks for listening, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks very much.